everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. So I thought it would be a good idea to give some tips and tricks on how best to prepare for an online interview, whether that be a video call or a phone call. A lot of colleges and universities are switching to this due to the current circumstances, so I just thought I'd give a couple of tips on how you can best prepare. First of all, it's important to mention that the school or college or the university will give you plenty of notice to whether this interview is switching to online, so you'll have plenty of time to prepare for that. So the first thing that I would say is most important to do is to test everything works. So if, for example, they're asking you to use Skype, have you downloaded Skype? Have you got it working? Is there another app that they've asked you to download? Or is it something that you can use online? So these are really important things to look into. And usually they'll give you the information. If it is that you need to download an app, they will inform you of that. But just making sure that you've done that. Have you downloaded the app? Have you checked your internet connection? Are you fully charged? Silly things like that, just making sure you're plugged in. Have you picked a nice location to do the interview in? So is it going to be quiet? Have you notified the members of your family that an interview is going to be taking place and that they need to not disturb you or not make any noise or anything like that? So it's just about checking all those little things. It might even be worth doing a test call with someone, so having a bit of a practice interview just to check things like the sound quality. Sometimes it's good to use headphones with a little microphone. They tend to have quite good sound quality. Little random top tip for you there. But yeah, just making sure the sound's working, the Wi-Fi connection's good, because you don't want the interview to, come to a stop because of a silly sort of technical glitch. As you would with a normal interview, it might be good to make some notes beforehand of maybe questions you'd like to ask, reasons you want to study the course, reasons you like that particular sixth form, college or university. The good thing about a phone or video interview is that those notes can be with you and you can use those to refer to. You don't want to heavily rely on them, you don't want to appear as though you're reading from a piece of paper, but if you can just have a few things jotted down, that will really help ease the flow of the interview. My next tip is to make sure you look the part. So for a normal interview, obviously you're going to try and make sure that you're looking quite smart. If it's a university interview, there might be a different dress code that they will send through in advance. But for a Skype interview or Zoom interview or whatever it is you're using, it becomes a little bit more of sort of a blurred line, like what am I supposed to wear? And I think my advice would be still try and look smart. You still want to look presentable, you still want to look appropriate, and you still want to give off a professional vibe. Next, you want to make sure that you're absolutely ready to start the call. So, like you would for an interview, you'd show up a little bit early to make sure you're ready and you're on time or early. Do that for your Skype interview too. So you don't need to be super early, but just making sure that everything's ready. You're by the phone or you're by the computer, you've got your notes, you've got everything you need, you're looking the part, and just be ready a few minutes before so that as soon as that call comes in, you're ready to take the call. You don't want the start of that call to be you fumbling around or quickly trying to get into a good location. Make sure you're there and ready to take on the interview when the interviewer calls. And the last thing I want to talk about when it comes to sort of like the preparation for the interview is absolutely not to worry. It can be quite a daunting experience to have to do something like this over the phone or even over camera, like a video interview. That could be something you've never done before, and chances are the interviewer is probably a little bit new to it as well. So don't worry, they are going to be putting you at ease and they just want to get to know a little bit about you and find out the best possible thing for you. They want this to be the right experience for you. So they're not going to grill you and make you feel uncomfortable. This is a chance for the interviewer to get to know you and get to know more about you and see if you're suitable for the course you're applying for. If, however, this is something that you're particularly worried about, that phone call or that video call is something that is giving you a lot of anxiety, there is absolutely nothing to stop you contacting the interviewer in advance to let them know about those anxieties and worries. And they will offer you support in the right way possible. So don't worry, you can be honest if it is something that is particularly worrying you. During the interview, there are just a few things to remember. So as I said before, the interviewer just wants to get to know you. Chances are the first thing they will speak about is something that they know you can comfortably and easily talk about, just to get the ball rolling and to get to know you. If you are somebody that is worried or nervous throughout the call, try and find a focus. So focus on what the interviewer is asking you about and start to focus on what you're going to say next and what your answer's going to be. If you haven't understood a question or maybe the connection's lost and you missed a bit of what they said, do not be afraid to ask them to repeat their question or expand a little more if you didn't quite understand. The next thing to think about is making sure that you are speaking clearly. It's quite normal in sort of a video or phone situation to kind of like rush and speak quite quickly, especially if it's a situation that you're not particularly comfortable with. So just slow down, don't rush, make sure you're speaking clearly and making sure that you're expanding on your answers, not just giving sort of like yes and no answers. Take time to pause, listen to the question and really give the best answer possible. The next thing that's really important during the interview is to 100% focus on the call. If you're on your laptop, it might be kind of tempting to like open up a new tab and try and multitask. My advice would be don't do that. You've got your notes of everything that is going on with the interview. You've got the interviewer in front of you. You need to be focusing 100% on that call because you don't want to miss something that's said and confuse yourself. Don't try and multitask. Focus on the call 100% and really focus on the answers you're giving. And the point I'm going to end on is that it is so important to relax and just kind of enjoy the interview, enjoy that little chat, and remember that the college, the sixth form, the university, they just want to get to know you and they want to work out what is going to be best for you in the future. So try not to worry. I know it's such an obvious thing to say, but try not to worry, relax, enjoy the interview, and that way I think you'll give the best answers and they'll get the best out of you. It might be worth having a little think about what sort of questions you might get asked during the interview as well. They're likely to ask you why you want to study the course, what you enjoy about that subject area, what you're enjoying about your current study, whether that be school, whether that be your A-levels. They'll want to know a lot more about your strengths. So for college interviews and university interviews, you may have given in sort of like a small personal statement. For university, it's a little bit bigger, but they are more than likely going to ask you questions around that as well. So it might be worth giving that a reread before you go into the interview as well. A really good way to end any sort of interview is to have some questions to ask, because I think it really shows how sort of motivated and passionate you are about applying, but it also shows sort of how well you've been listening as well, to have some sort of questions to go off the conversation. So questions you might want to ask are things like, what happens next? How do you enroll? If it's for like a vocational college course or uni course, like what work placements are on offer, what additional opportunities can I get involved in, what support is on offer at the institution. There's loads of things that you can ask, and I think it just shows how interested you are. So that brings us to the end of this video today. I hope these tips have been useful and that you can start to put yourself a little bit at ease for your online interviews or phone interviews. If you do have any questions, don't forget to pop them in the comments below. You can get in touch with me on our Instagram page as well. I'm also going to link a access platform in which you can message me directly on. So if you click the link below and then type in Olivia in the search bar, you'll come directly to me and you can ask me any questions about this video, or it might be that you want to ask about something else, about my course. All the information is down there, and there's loads of other recent graduates that are on that page that you can speak to as well. So it might be that you come across someone that is studying something really similar to what you want to study, and you might want to ask them some questions too. So definitely go and check that out and see some of our content and have a chat to some of the recent graduates. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the University Insiders YouTube channel if you are new here. As always, if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments below, get in touch with us, and I will see you very, very soon for a brand new video.